Because if you've been looking for 2 years for the perfect business, the problem probably isn't the business, right? Hey guys, Wilson here with Cabinet Startup, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about how to determine what business you should start. And we've obviously taken some time to really dive deep into the realm of cabinets, but that's not the only business that Steve and I have interest in. There's a lot of incredible businesses, especially in the trades. And one of the things that I see all the time is, when I'm talking to guys that are considering this opportunity or considering another business, they'd say, hey, Wilson, I have been looking for, 2 years for the perfect business, and I'm just hoping this is the right one. And as soon as I hear that, I know that there's going to be a problem, right? Because if you've been looking for 2 years for the perfect business, the problem probably isn't the business, right? And so today, what we're going to talk about is how to actually find the right business, giving yourself some qualifications for actually determining what's going to be a great fit for you. And so if that's what you're here to learn, go ahead and watch the rest of this video. We're going to give you 3 beautiful things to kind of help you with that process. Now, that said, if you are in the position where you have been looking for the right business for more than 2 years and you're still not sure, I actually recommend going and watching a different video we created. And that video is how to determine your why. Because if you're 2 years into searching for a business, you probably don't have clarity on why you want to start a business and why it's important for you to do that. And the reason I say that is there's so many ways to make money, guys. There are a million ways to make a ton of money, but you have to have clarity on what it is that you're looking for and how that's actually going to fit in. Today, we're going to kind of cover, once you've already decided those things, how do you pick the right business for you? So let's go ahead and dive right in. Number one, the first thing that you want to consider when you're looking at a business, because there are so many different ways to make money, right? You can do something online, you can work in person, direct to consumer, B2B, e-commerce. I mean, the list is massive. And so you got to figure out, how am I going to actually pare that down to figure out what things are maybe going to be in my wheelhouse. And so step one is to really determine what types of activities bring you energy as a person, right? Like, are you the type of person that, for example, really likes talking with customers, right? Do you really like working in a computer? Do you like going into an office? Do you like being out in the field? One of the things that I think is really useful for this is kind of figuring out for yourself, right? What are some things that you're good at and you enjoy, right? It doesn't have to be something you're passionate about. Kind of annoyed by that whole idea, like, find your passion and you'll love work every day. It's like, even if you're doing a job you're passionate about, there's going to be things in that job that you don't like. That's it. If you're going to be successful in a business, the reality is you're going to have to do things you really don't enjoy. One of the most useful quotes I've heard from a mentor of mine is, successful people form the habit of doing things unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. There's going to be some of that in every business. What's more important is figuring out, the vast majority of your day, what you're spending most of your time on, is it something that you can get some value out of? And I like to think through, like, okay, what are the things that your friends call you up for and say, hey man, can you help me with this? What are the types of things your friends are always asking for advice or expertise on? Because those are the things that you're naturally good at. And if you're like most people enjoy doing things they're good at, right? So, if your friends are always calling you up and asking you, hey man, I want you to know how to organize things, right? There are businesses where people make incredible money literally just organizing houses. If what you're really good at is planning parties and events, there are people who make millions of dollars planning parties and events. If what you're good at is building systems, you see where I'm going with this. And so making a list of, hey, what are all of the things that I am good at? What are the things that my friends recognize me as being good at? And make a list of those. Once you're done with that list, I also like to make a list of the things that I really don't like, right? There are certain things that you really, really do not like, or really can't stand. And if that's the case, it's good to know about those things, because you can use that in comparing what it is that you want to do. It doesn't have to be about what you're passionate about. What's really important is finding something that you're good at that you can enjoy. Okay. Notice as we're talking about this, I'm not talking about finding a particular career path. Like, it's not like, hey, look, I really enjoy blinds, or I really enjoy cabinets. It doesn't need to be a specific industry. It's got to be more the activity. If you like working with your hands, that's an activity. If you like, being on a computer, that's an activity. It doesn't need to be a specific field, because that's the next thing we're going to move into. Step 2 is determining what skills you have that can fit into markets that are already doing well. For example, if I say, hey, I like working with my hands, it's like, cool, okay, well, I know that that's a skill, so I'm going to go look for industries that are blowing up where I can work with my hands. Because if you're really good at working with your hands, you can start a repair business for heavy machinery that specializes in printing presses. I wouldn't recommend it, right? Newspapers are on their way out. It's probably not the best move, but it's an option. If you like working with your hands, you go start your own trades business doing, something that is blowing up right now, right? Like, for example, cabinet refinishing, right? Or epoxy, or garage doors, or seamless gutters. There's all these different things if you like working with your hands that you can actually go do, and they're all in an industry that's blowing up right now, which is the trades, right? If you like being at a computer, you might look into cybersecurity. That industry is blowing up right now, right? Looking at decentralized applications on cryptos, that is blowing up right now. And so finding, like, you've got your activity that you like, you want to go look at what are some industries and trades where there's rapid growth and there's high demand. And again, we're staying away from passions. We're looking at objectively where are opportunities, because if you narrow that down, you say, hey, you know what? I recognize that there is some amazing opportunity in the trades, and I know that I really like working with people. Then you can say, okay, cool. I need to find a trades business where I can go work with people. So how do I set it up so that I can be the sales arm of my own trades business? And interestingly enough, like, that's entirely what my first business was built on. We had a whole team that was really dedicated to sales. And so we went out and we sold solar systems. And we figured out how to find somebody that could do the delivery for us in the back end. My company did not actually install a single solar system, and we were doing, over $1 million a month. The reason I bring that up is because we found a growing industry, solar, right? We found a piece within that industry that we were good at, the sales and communication, and then we built a business around that. It's not about finding that thing that you're passionate about. It's about finding something that you're good at and you enjoy, and finding an area where you can apply that is growing and has demand. Because ultimately, the only reason anybody even works is because they want to provide for themselves, they want to provide for their families, right? That's the thing most people are actually passionate about. And so we find something we like and enjoy within that. I recommend personally looking into the trades, right? Looking into something like cybersecurity, looking into something like cryptos, like find something that is blowing up right now, and then find a way that you can get involved. The next thing, right, is once you found a couple opportunities, and let's say we narrowed it down, like, hey, I know that I really like the trades, okay? I really like service industry, like, hey, maybe you're like cutting hair, right? You like, maybe like fashion, maybe like organizing. Find a couple of those things, right, that you think are going to be a great fit, and then compare those to what you require for your lifestyle. And lifestyle is something that people a lot of times don't think about when they're starting business. And I can tell you, in almost any business you start in the very beginning, lifestyle is going to be a tough part of it, right? When you're first starting, you work a lot of hours, you have long days. And if you're doing it on your own without any help, like, you're going to be trying to solve so many problems. And so, lifestyle is important because, one, you want to figure out long-term, once it's figured out, what's going to be like. For example, if you have a wife and young kids, maybe running a bar is not going to be your best option. Right? Because let's think about it. You're going to be open from, 4 p.m. until 3 a.m., right? So you're going to be sleeping late. You're going to miss the kids in the morning. You're going to be opposite schedules from your family. The lifestyle of that may not work for you. Or, let's say that you're somebody that really kind of likes that 9 to 5 schedule, right? Then you may not want a role where your primary focus in your business is going to be on sales. Right? Which means that's going to be one of the first things that you're going to have to map getting yourself out of when you're starting the business. And there are going to be some businesses that, require you to be on call 24 hours a day. And so you're going to be able to weed out a lot of these opportunities by comparing these 3 things. So, thing number 1, what are some activities I'm really good at? Thing number 2, what are some opportunities that are blowing up right now? And then within those, where can I find the tasks that I'm good at? And then thing number 3 is, do the lifestyle values that I've set out for myself align with this particular skill set in this particular industry? And if those 3 things check up, like, yes, I'm not going to be on call 24 hours a day. Yes, it's an industry that's blowing up. And yes, I found a skill within that. Then boom, I've got my 3 things. This is a viable business opportunity. And once you've decided that, pick it, start it, and go. Move forward. Because the reality is, they're all going to be challenging. They're all going to be hard. But then you're not picking something like, if I'm choosing just based on passion, I might go into an industry that's dying. If I'm choosing, just based on growth, I might get into an industry that makes good money, but I absolutely freaking hate it. And so we want to take those 3 things and map them out together. And if you do that, you'll find it's much easier to find a business and start a business that you can enjoy, that's going to meet your needs, going to grow. And then, as the last thing, guys, bonus, if you're thinking about starting a business and you found one that meets those 3, I would find people that are already running that business. They don't need to be anywhere near you. They can be, 50 miles away, 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away. I would call them. I literally call them, see if you can get the owner on the phone. Call 5 or 10. You're going to get one owner on the phone. Just say, hey, man, I'm thinking about starting a career in a similar field as you. I'm looking at starting this. Before I invest all this time and energy, I just want to know, what's your experience been, right? What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? What are the things that you would change? If you could do it all over again, would you? And for the most part, if they're on the phone with you, one, business owners love talking about their businesses. They're going to share. Number 2, most business owners had to struggle to get to the point where they're at. And so if they see somebody working hard, if they see somebody trying to make that change, usually they're going to go above and beyond. They will help. Now, caveat to that, if you haven't done any research and you don't know anything about it and you're asking stupid questions, they might hang up on you. But if you go to them, you've done your research, you found something you think you like, call some business owners that are already doing it and ask them about their experience. Or if you decide you want to do it, find somebody that's already done it before and pay them to help you, pay them to mentor you, pay them to teach you. It will make a massive difference in the speed and experience that you have in the business. And so I hope that you found this helpful in your search. If you like this video, give it a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.